Hi, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Random Encounter. This is episode 19. By the end of this evening, we'll have done 20 episodes, plus or minus a few, because of previous technical difficulties. Hopefully, again, adjusting sounds and things like that, you should be able to hear me, and you should be able to hear this lot.
Hey.
There he is. I knew one of them would. And we are going to probably be going pretty quickly into tonight, mostly because we're into a fairly deep section of the whole campaign now, really. The group as a whole have just discovered something pretty important in terms of basically historical retconning. The fabled hero Atari, of which his name is now the name of the town that this lot at least were in a few days ago or a day ago, um, who was thought killed from a rather large explosion during his battle with Belcora above, was not dead. In fact, was seen in a vision that Neffy got from a small creature, small, ugly, horrible, demonic creature, seen running up towards this door to the north, which they have been avoiding a little bit. And I mean, it's not the big door that you're avoiding desperately, but it is one of the doors that you're avoiding. And we want to kind of progress with this, really. We want to kind of get into this as quickly as possible because it's kind of fun and kind of interesting. So I think what I'm going to do, we're not going to have our normal ramble. We're not going to talk much about that. I'm going to do the quick and easy stuff that we do sometimes at the beginning of these sessions and just explain. We use Foundry VTT. We've currently got the maps brought in by the PDF exporter importer system, but we'll probably have the nice new fancy ones at some point. We use Sirenscape for our music when you can hear it. This lot can hear it. Not always good does it come through on the videos, but we try and make sure we get everything. We use OBS, we use Discord, we use all of those sorts of things, and you know, the continuation of this technology does not quite do what I want it to do. Happens and happens and happens, but there's not a lot I can really do about that at the moment. So we will continue to try and make sure that we use the stuff that we can. I really hugely, massively appreciate the 45 of you that are subscribed. That's really cool. Thank you very much. These numbers have been trickling up nice and steadily over the last few weeks. And even if the Twitter bots are now dead and do not retweet everything that we send out, we are still at least getting a few more people watching, and it's really, really helpful. Thank you very much, everyone. So, guys, we're going to just spin up a little bit of music and just try and get this to be a little bit more ambient for you guys. He says, and then can't actually hear his own music playing. Come on. No, it's been nice and quiet. Let's try that one instead. There. There's some noise there this time. Good. Good. Right, we will spin everybody over to the map so that people can see what you guys are doing as well. You find yourself still stood within this 20-foot by 10-foot chamber with this small fly-like creature, which I will just spin the graphics up for everybody to see once more. Sat next to Neffy, or buzzing near Neffy, having just touched Neffy on the shoulder. And Neffy's head is sort of eyes rolled back, head snapped back a little bit. But within moments comes back, and this creature kind of just continues to sort of buzz there and sit and sort of look at Neffy. Good informations.
Very unhappy about how close this thing is to me right now.
Leaves Larin alone?
Yes. Quite happy to do so.
And he kind of just sits there.
Okay.
He's not really got much of a clock but you've heard what his contract is from him, so you know at some point he's going to start trying to clean up, which is basically what he's contracted to do.
Cool.
I'm going to whisper to Neffy. Is it happy in its contract?
He seems happy. I ask him, is he happy?
A contract is a contract, so I am bored of this material plane.
I mean, if we could release you from the contract, would you just go back to where you came from?
Yes, this point is boring being here for so long.
Okay. Leave it with us and we'll see what we can sort out. And yeah, I just walk out the room. Somehow we need to try and break him out of the contract.
Why?
Because he's
It's his
bored.
contract. And
Can you imagine how long he's been here just cleaning? Would you want to do that?
no, but I'm not a demon, and I won't make that kind of deal. Oh,
Think
I'm
of
not
all
a
the
devil.
pies he's been missing out on.
He's not going to get pies if he's released from his contract.
I mean, he might do. How do you know what's in the demon plane?
It's quite literally what we're taught, or at least parts of what we're taught. And I'm being taught
Yeah.
more of it every time I get the opportunity to.
You
He
think
made
these
that
are?
deal for power.
He's on the demon plane, damn it, and I'm telling you that he wants home.
Yeah, should have signed that contract. It sounds entirely like a him problem.
Wow. Wow. I just
If we
walk
can-
away.
If we can free him with insignificant risk to us, then we probably should.
Just to go home. Send him home.
Are you volunteering to take his place in the contract?
That's not part of the agreement. I never said that. I'm not cleaning for no
Mhm.
one. Unless it's clearing up, a few gems.
I get the feeling it's a lot more binding than that, from what you said.
Probably.
Okay, so having had a look around this chamber, you are aware that there is another door to the south of you, which you have not yet opened. You also have back out into the corridor, the main large corridor where there were multiple doors still to look at. You know that there's a double door to the south. You haven't looked in. You are aware of even more chambers which appear to be stretching off into the west of this structure as well, which you have not gone anywhere near.
We were working our way around, weren't we? So
We were, so we might as well clear this area.
Let's check this one to the south. Then.
Yep.
I'll go have a listen.
Okie dokie. Alright. You have a listen at that door. You are unaware of any sounds coming from the other side of it, other than the fact that it's a swollen door again, which means there's a little bit of effort to have to sort of shove it open. But you have enough people with you that are strong enough and athletic enough that is not really an issue. It's still a bit of an issue, but it's not a big issue. So if you wish to open the door,
Yep.
you can click on the door.
the nephew
You
had
go
already stormed out, right?
Oh yeah, I also left some pie.
He kind of just looks at it. He will eat it. Yeah. He's not restricted from
But-
eating if he can and all the rest of it.
Mhm.
It's
But
just
pie is better than whatever food he's had.
I mean, he's not really had a lot of food. It's been more the sort of dirt that he's licked up off the floor because that's one part of his contract. But again, he's a demon of some description. He probably doesn't really need to eat. In fact, he's not even a demon. He's a devil. My apologies.
After you, Moz.
Yep. And Moz will unsubtly clear the door.
Okay, you open that door. A pair of hulking humanoid objects stand quietly in this chamber, each covered in a thick layer of dust. You look they do not move.
Mm-hmm.
They do not move in any way, shape, or form.
Matt, could you unpause the game, please?
The game is unpaused.
Oh, it's just
You
me.
might need to refresh it, because I had to refresh mine.
Okay.
Say hulking great figures. What do they look like?
They look,
Robed?
as you get a little bit close to not robed, they are fully metallic. Head to toe, every single piece and part of them is machinery. These appear to be some sort of clockwork machines.
Ooh.
Clearly, at this point, broken beyond repair. But after a little bit of time having a look at these statues, Moz, you spot some little bits of glinting from inside them.
Does the glinting, being aware that there's like automata or similar, and we have the creepy doll bird thing and the creepy limbless doll thing, do these look? Does that glinting suddenly bring to mind the embedding place for a gem type stony thing?
No, and in fact, the sort of, for want of a better term, the technology of those soul-bound creatures or creations were very rudimentary in comparison to these. These look like they are clockwork machines, something that you would have to wind up and actually maintain. When you have a little bit more of a dig around inside, you find 8 small gemstones, each you think worth about 5 gold, that may at one point or another have been part of the mechanisms.
I don't know where we are on the camera screens. It could be this way. I don't know.
Oh dear.
How many did Neffy get before he stopped her?
None.
You said 8, didn't you? You said 8.
Yeah, there are 8. There are 8.
4.
How about you get 8 from one and I get 8 from the other?
No, that's not how it works. 8 in total. Stop it.
Damn it.
D8 says 4. As I carefully pull out a couple from one of them, you notice it and squirrel off to the other one and grab the other 4.
I've got 4. Awesome. I'll take it.
Between the two of them,
You're never going to see a penny.
I'm rather obviously very carefully taking these out and highly suspicious of them.
Every time he puts one in hand, I take it.
right. While brother and sister are squabbling, between the two automata, very roughly, do there look to be enough common parts to make a full one?
No.
Just okay.
No, unfortunately not. These are very, very badly damaged. Very badly damaged. This is
See what they're designed for.
Looking at them, just how a sort of general look over them, you start getting the feeling that based on the chamber above you where all of the cleaning equipment was and all the rest of it, these are literally cleaning robots. These would have gone around and helped clean the place.
What's the need for
The
the
devil got stuck in a contract and they had robots to do the damn job for them.
That's the question that leads into it. Or rather, that's the problem that leads into it. Why, if, then?
Because whoever couldn't be bothered to repair these, but did have the sufficient wherewithal to summon a devil and bind it to service.
Yeah. That's 2 different skill sets, isn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not overly arcane.
So these broke. The person in charge no longer had skill set 1, but did have skill set 2.
Yeah. think we might need to keep an eye out for skill set 1 elsewhere. Is there any way we can, bearing in mind that these are technological workings and they're slightly falling apart, is there any way we can spend a couple of minutes just to study them, see how they're put together, see where there might be common faults that we could take advantage of later, weaknesses kind of thing?
Yeah, you certainly can. I'll just have a little bit of a roll in the background. I think only one of you is trained in crafting. I might be wrong.
I'm trained in crafting.
You are indeed.
Yeah.
So you get a reasonable look over these things, Phelan. The main thing that strikes you is they are ancient. Like, seriously ancient. If there isn't somebody down here maintaining them, they end up in this state. So the only way you are likely to see anything like this lower down is if somebody's actually putting the effort into looking after them. It's possible, maybe. I mean, you've not really met anything down here yet that probably has that level of intelligence. Even the creatures down to the south that you fought with the massive catapult things, they were literally ramming random bits of rubbish together to create their weapons. It doesn't seem within the bounds of those creatures to be able to manage. In your own sort of mind, looking at these, you would probably say that you could dedicate the rest of your life to trying to work out how these were put together in the first place. There is not enough stuff here to really give you a good enough clue. Not in good order, anyway.
Right. So basically, these things require a lot of maintenance, and apart from that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Lost interest now.
That's okay, because if we find more, there'll be more shiny gems.
I was thinking. Oh, at least we got a couple of gold out of this. Maybe useful for later. And we'll just close the door on the way back out.
Mm-hmm. Takes a bit of effort. Serious sort of way to sort of pull this.
Mm-hmm.
And you all start progressing back out into the main corridor and starting having a look around here again. You stand next to the door that is glowing green. That is still there. That light source is still there. You also, however, have two doors over to your west. You've got a double door on the northwest wall. The west of the north wall, however you want to describe it, and then a door on the west itself, a single door. So you could use either of those, or you can poke the green glowing door.
We should probably poke the green glowing door. You never know.
Yeah.
It might just be a lantern shining through a really big emerald.
It's really not.
Exactly.
It's
An emerald, you
absolutely
say? Throws the door open. No, I'm kidding.
Neffy hits the door and flat out run.
Yeah,
Wily coyote through it.
with no athletics whatsoever, slams into it.
Envil moves in
You
front
just
of
see
the
a
door,
Neffy-shaped hole.
body blocking Neffy's attempt to get anyone near it.
Invol Stepmom has got it going on.
Oh dear, you lot are terrible.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this another door like the others? So wooden, slightly swollen.
Yep, wooden, slightly swollen. Just you lot. Dear me.
Becky started.
Dear me. Wow.
The slightly swollen, stiff wood.
I have spent the
is
weekend
so damp.
LARPing. What do you
And
expect?
it's damp. Let's not forget.
Oh, damp and moist.
Is that wood slick?
Oh, for goodness sake, stop it. Terrible lot. You're terrible. No wonder I have to keep on
I think we were
advertising.
going for monetization.
Yeah, no, monetization, what's that? Safe for children, not a chance.
Yep.
Laura's going to open the door, or at least attempt to.
Okay. Are you trained in athletics?
I cannot remember. Give me a moment. No, I am not. In which case, I probably don't want to, but I'm kind of here now.
You absolutely can. If you're untrained, you can still open the door. It just takes 2 actions to open it. So if anything is going to happen to you on the other side, you're only going to have 1 action to cope with it. But yes. If you are still opening the door, by all means, click on the door.
I am. But I'm going to cast shield first.
Open that trap door.
Boom of stuff comes around. You open the door.
Oh, globbits.
This 10-foot square washroom features an iron bathing tub to the north and a commode to the southwest. The northern wall glows and shimmers with ribbons of eerie green light.
Okay.
Does it look like it's going beyond the walls to the east and west? Or is it just the square in front of us that's shimmery?
No, it's the wall in front of you that's shimmery.
Okay, so does it look like it extends and there'd be more shimmering in other rooms if we could get to them, or is it just...
You wouldn't be able to tell. It's a solid wall.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure how I can explain that anymore. Yeah, it's a solid wall. But what you do note is that within a few seconds of you opening the door, all of a sudden the squiggles and lines coalesce into a single sentence. I was Atari. Save me from below. Those lines then twist and start to break apart again. But this time, rather than breaking into individual segments, it breaks into one long, single, serpentine almost looking shape. The green light in the room stops, and instead, this single... it's supposed to be green. I couldn't quickly fix a green one together. I couldn't find a green thing. Fits into this single sort of green, almost serpent-like ribbon of energy, which drops down to the floor, and it's quite small, and it's just a ribbon of energy, and it just moves. Oh, hello. Can somebody open the door? Have I managed to close the door? Yeah, open the door if somebody wouldn't mind. It moves, starts just meandering down this pathway.
Does it look like the ribbons in the room we found to the west?
No, entirely different. This is far more spectral. This is much more your sort of thing.
What do I think I might know about things that behave like that?
In fact, it doesn't go that way. It goes this way. What have you seen of that nature?
So I've got undead lore, shadow plane lore, and haunt lore.
Okay. Just
Plus some arcana and some occultism, but I think those will be less relevant.
okay. With the roll that you got, this is entirely unique. You've got no idea what this is. It is not a haunt. It's not a spirit in and of itself. It's almost like an anchor or a echo of a spirit rather than being a spirit itself.
Okay. Well, I've never seen one of those before, she says. Can I try to talk to it? Hey, where are you going?
More steps out the way.
Just there are no words come from it at all.
Okay. Huh.
And I think I was right, actually.
Is it still moving?
Yeah, so every round or so it slips underneath the door to that side. I'm happy for people to effectively follow it, but you are going to have
Yes.
to tell me you are, because it is moving.
Invar is following that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So
As is
Designated scouting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. It then disappears round the corner, heading south.
Can't go wrong. Hang on a minute. Is it going back to
Oh, hang on.
weird creepy room?
No. My apologies. Goes that way, I think.
There we go.
Yeah, that way.
See it move. Did it move? Oh, no. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. And you see it bimble across this room and slip under this door. I will describe the room. So you've effectively, this has dragged you all the way west through the single doors that you did kind of know already where they were, through a set of single doors that you didn't know about. Okay, or more accurately, you hadn't opened up. So a ruined table and several destroyed chairs lie in a heap in the middle of this room, along with several large bones.
Okay.
Divine large.
Yep.
Bigger than human.
Could be
are we able to
problematic.
identify what they're from?
How big's the room?
The room is a 20-foot by 15-foot square room. And I believe, roughly speaking, in all of these chambers so far, the ceilings on the roof have been about 10 foot.
Okay.
Apart from the really large corridor, which was quite a bit bigger, it's 20 foot.
Thinking along the lines of corpses with undead lore and an awareness of how many parts typically make up a body, are there enough bones here to make up one cohesive body? If they happen to motivate themselves and pull themselves together?
Possibly. One thing I will say, I got this slightly wrong. The light hasn't left this room. It is actually moving around and bouncing around the bones that are on the floor.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem in a minute.
And then after a few seconds, then it disappears under.
Under?
Well, under, through.
What, the door or the bones?
The spirit, the little spirity ball
Yeah,
snake thing.
it goes
Through the door.
So that
through the door, right.
Through the door.
Had nightmares of it dropping down under the bones and everything going somewhat wrong.
Yep.
Nephew is
Okay.
itching to get in that room.
Yeah. Neffy, have a look around the room first. Don't go burning through.
I still want to follow it. I'm still following it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second Inver steps into the room, the bones start bouncing on the floor and building themselves up and up and up and up. I'm going to need you to stop about there, because as you step in, an exceptionally large skeleton is reformed. This one very specifically, its shape is almost humanoid, but it has two bovine type horns coming out the top of its head, these cloven type hooves on its bottom of its leg. If you were a kind of gambling type person, you might almost say that this is some sort of minotaur type skeleton, although that's the picture I have for this type of creature, just as a general thing for the tokens and on the screen. This large oversized skeletal thing appears. I am going to just check because some people are standing on top of others, and I'm not entirely sure where the tokens have all gone. Where is... there we go, that's better. We'll get everybody stood on off of each other. We'll get a little bit of a combat tracker going, and we'll get the music changed up. I'd like everybody to roll your initiatives, please.
Is there a modifier for heedlessly running?
+1.
No. I mean, it's a +1 because there was a scout, but I don't think anybody said that they were stealthing, so...
No, I really wasn't.
It's stealthing. That is Neffy's default.
Yeah, we have...
Other than being there already, Nephi stealths.
That's fair, that's true.
It works better if I roll a d20, not a d12. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It rolls worse. Anyway.
Take the D12.
Oh, brilliant stuff.
So,
Brilliant.
4 on the die.
Okay, I will go and put that one in. Orin doesn't actually need to be in this this tracker, so let's remove him. He does not need his own combat tracker. I will go with Invar first, so if you'd like to...
4 on the dice. 4 + 1 is 9, please.
A 9, okay.
Yeah.
A real good high start there. Mosran.
Yep, it's going to go great.
4 on the dice, 6 and 1 makes 11.
Oh dear, okay. Neffy.
Powering in.
19 on the dice, +7 + 1.
Nice.
Don't
So
ask me to do maths.
19 plus
7
8.
plus 1. Yeah.
Well, it's 27.
Yeah.
And
There you
Phelan.
11.
Oh God! Oh wow! It would appear, Neffy, that you are the only one to really get the drop on this creature. You are going first. What would you like to do?
Identify it for
Oh.
weaknesses.
So let's have a very quick look at whether or not you can identify this creature. What is your religion, and is it trained?
Trained,
Ooh.
and it's +5.
Okay. It's a skeleton. Yeah, it's a skeleton.
Could be spooky spell.
In terms of specific,
Okay.
you're not sure, but it's definitely a skeleton.
Okay, great to know. I could have told you that. I mean, shooting it and stabbing it are going to do F all, aren't they?
You don't know.
And then other than that, all I can do is electrocute it. I don't think that's going to work either.
I mean, you don't know.
Well, I'd rather shoot at it and not,
Yeah, I mean that seems reasonable.
get up close. So I'm going to do that. And because I'm going first, I still get my sneak and everything, don't I?
You will indeed. It is technically flat-footed to you because you are acting before it does in the first round of combat, and you were stealthing. Because of that, it is flat-footed to you, I believe, for the entirety of this turn, but after that, it's not.
Yeah. That's my understanding of it. Oh, that's a 26.
A 26, with the fact that it's flat-footed, is going to be a critical hit.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wait, what does that mean? What am I rolling?
So you are going to
More
roll
dice.
many, well, not many more dice, but there's a whole lot of doubling. So you are using your hand crossbow. Its base damage is 1d6.
Yeah.
You are also sneak attacking it because of the fact that you are indeed
an extra
all the rest
D6.
of it, an extra d6. Once you've rolled all of that, double it.
Okay. So 7 doubled 14.
14 points damage. Your bolt.
And it does like 2 damage.
Your bolt sinks in, hits it. What was the damage again? 14, did you say? Bolt hits it.
Yeah.
You're pretty darn certain it didn't do the full amount of damage that you should have been able to do against a living target, but it's still taken a fairly hefty crack at it. It's not nothing. It's not no damage.
Okay. I reload and stay where I am.
That would be your third action. So yep, you're reloading, and that's it. It's at this point that the creature will then act. It will, from its position of rising up. I'm going to say it hasn't got hold of its glaive immediately, so I'm going to have it grab hold of the glaive that it's got as its first action. I believe that's the most fair. It's effectively come from a prone position. But then it is going to take a very hefty swing down at Invar. Let's roll some real dice. I almost pressed the button. Didn't really want to do that. 15 on the dice with a plus 12 is a 27 to hit.
It's a critical hit.
That is a critical hit. Okay. So it's going to be quite a lot because the glaive is a deadly weapon.
Oh no.
So what happens with deadly weapons, for any of you that are not Pathfinder's normal sort of thing, as with the crit that Neffy got, I'm going to roll the damage dice for the item, add on the bonus, double that, but as a deadly weapon it then adds an additional whatever the dice is for its deadly, in this case a d8, so it gets that as on top. Minimum for the first part. So only 16 for the main part of the crit, but then an additional 3 on top of that, so 19 points of damage.
I'm still standing.
Ooh.
That was its first attack.
Oh god.
I might not be in a bit. Hang on a minute. That was not what I was trying
Standing.
Yep. That's where I went.
Yeah, You've currently got yourself at 19.
No, I've done it the wrong way around.
Yes, indeed. So just bear that in mind.
Drop that down to where it should be.
Because it is going to try and hit you again. However, this time it's only a 2 on the dice with a plus of 7. That's only going to be a lowly 10 to hit you for the second swing. That is all of its actions. It drew its weapon for the first one and took 2 swings at you for its second. That makes it Mosran's turn.
Yeah, and Mosran is totally enthused by fuck. Again, yeah, playing into that, this is going to be a problem. It is definitely a pile of bones that's now animated. Let's do that recall knowledge. He's not got religion, but he has got law, +6.
What law have you got? Undead law, is it?
Undead law.
That I most definitely will allow to play for this. It's exactly the type of creature that will at least get an unspecific law check on it. What's your bonus for your law? +6. Okay, that is just a success. Just. This is a skeleton. Shock horror. It is a skeletal giant. But this is a very specific one. You've not seen ones designed like this before. Normally the main thing with skeletal giants is they tend to come from things like ogres. Big, burly, human-shaped things. This is most definitely not an ogre. This is, your guess would be something like a minotaur, perhaps. As such, what would you like to know? Resistances and immunities, or those sorts of defensive things, any of its attacks and aggressive actions, or anything else that I might think is sort of relevant.
whatever it is going to be devastating when it hits. So let's try and avoid that in general. So let's maximize damage output. Speed, style, damage, and aggression. Let's go for the resistances and immunities, please.
Okay, so it is immune to paralyzed condition, being unconscious, any mental attacks, any poison attacks, or any disease-based attacks. It is also resistant to the following things: piercing damage, slashing damage, cold damage, electricity, and fire.
Well, gee.
As a list
Everything
goes,
I have.
it's most things, I believe, is the general response.
Yeah. Moz's kind of so that's action one. Moz's vague reaction could go. The books don't really cover something like this, or at least not the ones I've read yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be resistant to a whole bunch of stuff. Just smash it.
Well, yeah.
That's a bit of a thing. And he will move in. Bad idea. It's a bad day. Move as a second action, and I'm just going to go for hitting it in the face.
Okie dokie. You're
As
more
a
than
vague
welcome.
distraction.
Yep, give it a go.
Yeah, plus 11, because Halberd on first. That's a 14 plus 11 for 25, please.
25 is a hit, but unfortunately only a hit.
Okay.
Very close, but not quite.
D10 plus strength. D10 is that. Let's reroll that one again, because that's cut across the keyboard. That's a 12, so that's not a D10.
Not be
that's
cheating,
even-
please. Come on.
Other than that, a nat 1 plus 4 strength for 5 points of damage, please.
It slams into the creature and almost skids off. The weapon does not bite into the bone as you take that swing. Phelan, it is your turn.
Okay. So Phelan is probably going to bring nothing to this encounter.
Moral support.
Healing.
Healing.
But yeah. And we're going to do a 2-action heal on Invar.
Thank you.
So that's going to be automatic. You are not quite. You'll be doing 1d8 plus 8's worth of healing.
How big's the door on the other side of the room?
A single type door. It probably could force its way through, maybe.
Half 10 Invar.
You.
One thing just to remember, just because I'm nice like this, honest. Skeletal undead. In fact, pretty much any undead. And this is probably one thing that actually, JGA, you would have got from this. Take damage from positive energy effects.
Oh, they do.
Do the bigger
Okay.
healing.
Recategorizing what Mo said. Lots of smashing damage. That or give it love. I don't know.
You want me to throw it a bone?
Okay.
Okay.
I can do more damage doing something else.
Okay, so at this point in the process, that was a move, and then 2 actions to heal, so it will be Inver's turn. Just as a small reminder to my players, what the viewers are currently seeing is where your screen is focused. So if the fight is way over to your left-hand side, then yeah, people aren't going to be able to see what's actually on the screen. That's fair. There we go.
Oh, because it's me, because I'm the one
Yes,
with the better
indeed,
vision,
yeah.
right?
Well, no, it's
Sorry,
not because
yes.
it's your better vision. It's because it's your turn, so it will always flip to whoever.
Ah,
thinks it.
okay, gotcha. So, I am going to cast my cantrip, Chill Touch, which, despite the name, it does not do cold.
No, does it not do negative though?
On an undead
Yeah, I thought it
creature,
was
It has a special.
target is flat-footed for 1 round if it fails a fortitude save.
Yes, indeed.
And it does 1d4 plus 3 of damage. It's negative damage. And then if it critically fails, there's other stuff.
Well, actually, hang on, just before you do that. Living creatures take negative damage. That's correct. Undead creatures do not. They only get the.
Oh,
flat-footed.
okay. Well, I still want to make it flat-footed because then the rogue can wallop it.
That's fair. If you want to use it just for that, that is
So,
absolutely fine.
So it needs to make a DC 14 Fortitude save.
For 1 round on a critical failure, they become fleeing
Sorry,
unless
DC 17.
DC 17 Fortitude. Okie
Yeah.
dokie. I will roll a dice, and on the dice I get an 11 with a plus 10, a 21, I'm afraid. So this creature is not affected by your spell. You,
Plan B!
you back out of the room as fast as humanly possible. Not even humanly. It goes round to the top of the second round. It is Neffy's turn.
Yeah. I mean, if we can get Moz out of the room, we just shut the door, right?
No, the spirit went the other way.
But I'm sure there's another way there.
Might have gone by then.
Okay.
What's he doing? He's going up this thing just across. Think faster!
Quicker plans!
Channeling my
Quicker
inner
plans!
thing.
Quicker plans!
God, I don't think I can do anything that helps anyone in this fight.
Barrel the door.
Say what?
Just try and go straight through. I think it's basically what Moz is saying.
You want me to tumble through and try and open the door?
I will state for the record, just for simplicity of rules as written, unfortunately, at the moment, you could not open that door. Not easily, anyway. It's possible. There are spaces you can stand, and then athletics rolls that you can roll.
We can leave it.
I think that's wise. So I'm gonna shoot at it to try and keep its attention kind of on me. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want it to come and hit me. I'm squishy.
Don't need to die.
Oh dear. No, sorry, I'm gonna no, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna move completely out of the way, and then Moz got space to come out.
Okay, fair enough.
Crystal Maze in it, huh?
So, Moz, you're well aware that it's gonna go. And you're the only one in firing line. It lifts.
That's okay, it's not got any ranged weapons. I can just leave the firing line.
It lifts up its glaive.
You will be remembered.
I will be a Shmia.
A 15 on the dice with a plus 12 is a 27.
It's only 7 over, it's not a critical, it's fine.
It's only 7 over, it's not a critical.
I'm dying. I'm die hard, you know, I've got an extra round to prolong my death, it's fine.
You take 9 points of damage from its first hit.
That's not too bad.
I'm sorry.
That puts me on 22. That's
It
okay.
then
That's
swings around again with this glaive.
Does this count as a manipulate action?
No. An 18 on the dice.
But
With
to
a-
return the backswing, he ducks under and uses the newer armor to try and deflect a little bit. AC 20.
Yeah, with a plus 7, so only a 25. So
it rips underneath the armor as he tries to be cocky about it.
you take minimum damage on this hit, 8 points of damage.
Okay, 22 makes 20 makes 14.
We'll try and hit you again.
If you could try not to.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
For
You will
only
be.
a 3 on the dice. Only a 3 with a plus 4 is a 7. It misses on its third swing, having taken 2 huge chunks out of you. Well, small actually, technically.
Decent chunks.
But it's kind of just stood there over you.
He'll use the dynamic action of having, you know, kind of avoided the blow to go. Be back later, Squire. And just carry on the motion. And just peg it out the goddamn door.
Okay. You step out of the door. I would like you to make an athletics check, please, if you are trying to shut the door.
Sure. Where's my athletics stats? There we go. It is going to be athletics. +8. That's not too bad. Okay. Does a 9 do it?
No. The
It's
door
good dice
is
last week.
wedged.
Hang on, 1, 2.
Yeah, you can try
Third
it.
action?
You can try it again, but remember you're going to take a -5 penalty to the second attempt.
That's alright. I'll put me on +3. Come on, high dice, high dice, high dice. 14 + 3. 17.
You drag this door, screaming against against the woodwork, against the floor.
Are the hinges and the noise of the door louder, or am I? No, no, no.
And you close up that door. If you take any sort of time or any sort of breath at all, you immediately hear a slam against that door. And you can hear it trying to smash the door down.
I suggest we put another door between us and the sky.
I'm sorry.
Now. Not apologising, moving.
I would, but we're still in turn order.
I will end that turn order combat.
One Scooby-Doo out of here.
Beats don't fail me now.
Yeah.
And you basically run.
Yep.
Osrin, would you like me to heal you?
I'd like to close this door, please.
With no real urgency, you hear the other door pretty much get ripped down, but you are
Yep, that's
well
what
aware, and you hear sort of odd bellowing type noises, almost like the last vestiges of what noise it can make. But then all of a sudden that just dies down,
Mhm.
and there's no further noise from in that corridor.
Is it reasonable that it's confined just to that room? A reasonable assumption
Maybe.
from what we've heard and what we saw. Can we send the devil in? See if that makes it come awake again.
We're not his contract holder. I don't think so, but sure. Have that conversation if you can.
No.
I go and speak with the devil to
I was
find
joking.
out.
Jesus.
No, to find out what he knows about the room.
Okay.
You do
the
it better. What's on your
Minotaur.
mind?
What am I going to send the devil?
He saw that this little fly thing is kind of sat on the floor.
I go in with more pie.
No,
This is why there's the death of pie.
No, thank you.
No pie? Okay. There's a skeleton, a big one, and it tried to kill us. Like, is that gonna stay in that room, or does it come out?
It leans closer. You're in the Abomination Vaults. What did you expect?
Statement to make. I'm just clarifying because I don't want it to come and try and eat you.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I'm
That's fair.
part of the vaults. Why would it bother me?
Useful to know.
All right, I'll leave you to it, and then I leave again. Come and relay the message. So what's through these doors? They seem safer.
No idea. Feel free.
Precisely.
Well, do you want healing before we do this?
If we're gonna go play Idiot's Knock, yes please.
I don't think it's been long enough to like first aid you again.
That's fair.
No, but I can cast heal.
Yeah.
I would appreciate not bleeding all across the floor. Mainly because I plan on not bleeding for a while.
For a sum total of 1 on the dice plus 8 for the 2-action version gives you a whole 9. Sorry.
23. Up from 14. That's a heck of a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, who's knocking on the door?
What?
I'm kidding.
That's
Is it
my
me?
idea.
Nothing? Good idea.
I listen at the door.
Okay, you listen at the door. You cannot hear any noise coming from the other side of the door. The door does not appear to be in any way locked or trapped.
Detect magic.
Yes, you can detect magic in the area.
Okay.
It's that 30-foot radius.
I know. Well, I open the door.
By all means, click on it. Several wide alcoves adorn the walls of this L-shaped hallway. Each alcove appears to contain a small diorama of what appears to be the same city, but facing several different perils.
Okay, the first one.
Okay, as you step closer to it. Nobody move. Nobody do anything. Let me.
Change your mind, I need to roll.
Moz is just leaning on his halberd going,
I'll hit the pause button if I have to. I would like to have everybody check your perception skills. I know this is the harder one for you to find. It's on that red bar on the first page of your character sheet. And I'd just like you to tell me, well, raise your hands or whatever is necessary, if you are expert or higher in it. Most people,
hang on.
think will be.
Girl, hang on a sec. It's not looking in the right place.
So I can see
Oh,
Invar
I can
is
only
only
see
trained. Yep. Neffy and Moz, you are the only ones. Okay. Moz, as Neffy steps through the door, something catches your eye, but just too late. Because of just how far ahead people are. Neffy, you get close to this first one. The diorama of the city is effectively ablaze. The entire city is burning. And as you kind of look into this thing, you notice a small dot appear at the top of one of the spires in the diorama, and a purplish black beam fires out from the spire straight towards you. Does a 19 hit you?
God.
I believe a 19 does hit you. Okay. You need to take 24 points of fire damage, please.
0.
This beam fires straight out and Neffy just drops to the floor.
Maybe we don't.
I probably should put you into initiative orders, I think. Because the problem is, The one to the right-hand side, to the eastern side where Phelan is,
Also kick
JJ, you see that little beam start to come out towards Phelan. I'm
difficulty,
going
yeah.
to roll.
Of course,
Well,
yeah.
I'm going to roll these attacks first. This attack first on Phelan.
Mm-hmm.
However, that is going to miss. There's only a 2 on the dice, so I believe its plus is not high enough. No, not quite. It will just. In fact, no. It will be. It misses. Yeah, it just misses. It just misses.
What did it get?
It got a 15.
Okay. Is this adventure path supposed to be a meat grinder?
It's a bit tasty, isn't it? A little bit snacky. A little bit snacky.
Just while I pull up my backup carrot.
I've got roadkill on standby.
Fair enough. What you do note is a couple of things from this, and I'll go briefly because obviously you have somebody on the floor. The one that Phelan is stood next to was of the same city, but this one is covered by a tsunami coming over. And the beam was not blackish, sort of purpley red, it was a bluish, blackish kind of colour. The beam slams into the wall, and a whole chunk of the wall kind of goes poof and falls down. Neffy...
Good pump.
Sorry, not Neffy. Phelan and Moz, now that Phelan's been attacked by this thing, realise that the actual diorama itself is almost dulled down in colour. They've gone dark.
Okay.
But Neffy is on the floor.
Are we initiative ordering? Or are we...
I'm not going to initiative order you at this point in time. You have enough time to run over and deal with this.
Well,
grab
yes,
it out. Grab it.
So you grab Neffy. I'm going to step back. I'm going to step back and 2-action heal on Neffy.
Basically, I'll pull Neffy clean out of the room. I can't be broken.
Becky, do you want to...
Yeah.
And then I will look at the next threat and I'll look into the room.
Okay.
So Neffy can have 10 hit points back.
Amazing.
You come to, you feel your skin having burnt. Moz, you look further into the room and realise that of the 2 alcoves that you can definitely see, and you're fairly aware that there's something round the corner, but you can't quite clearly see it. You just have a rough idea. Unlike the 2 nearer you, which look a little bit more dulled down, the 2 that you can see have this tiny little glinting light somewhere in the city, just ahead.
Okay. Rest of the room's rigged, guys. Folks, rest of the room is still rigged.
Yeah.
Does anyone recognise that city? From here,
Yeah,
don't
did
go
I
in
recognise
from the
it?
doorway. From the doorway, do we recognise it? Anyone? Any ideas?
I don't know. Do we have any ideas?
Do a very quick roll for you.
And what? And if we do, what building was it that did it come out of?
So the problem that you do know, because you saw it very, very clearly, is that the beam comes out of a different building each time. What you do, however, recognise, having had a nice look at the little skyline of the ones that are next to you, that's Absalom. Every single one of these shows some fantasy idea of how to destroy Absalom.
It's an incarnated threat against Absalom. A little bit. Very petty and ideal as a trap, because if you want to get angry with someone and destroy their favourite playthings, you're going to come in here, you're going to try and mess these up. Question is there going to be something useful in this place, or are you just going to shut this door? They're going at the back. These ones at the front have gone down as we're standing talking. Is there any chance?
So, no, I mean, it's almost like they might be recharging, but the recharge is so slow. There's a kind of very faint energy build-up around them. Nephi, you realise that you have two options. Just thinking about your skills and what just happened to you. With a little bit of thievery and luck, you could probably get to the things before they hit somebody and deactivate them. The downside of that being, if you fail, you're the one in the firing line. Whoever's doing that action is the one right up in front of it. The second option is you kind of had to be within a line of attack. It's almost like they're fixed, they can't angle. So potentially if you're really clever and really stealthy, you could sneak past them.
Because they're recharging anyway. Can I go in and at least see if I can deactivate one of them to see how difficult it is?
I'm more than happy with you doing that. Roll a thievery check. I will let you roll this.
I'm a skill. 22.
Yeah, that you basically reach on to where Moz says he saw the beam from and find a small, like, focusing gemstone, and you just kind of pull that out. And now, even if it discharges, it can't focus that beam. It would just be energy out the top of it.
Okay.
Nephi?
Yeah.
Nephi? How robust are those dioramas on those plinths?
They are fairly heavily carved stone. They're not going to be easy. You're probably going to get hit in the process of trying to just smash it.
I can send a critter in to draw the fire. It'll just go back to where it came from afterwards.
Die.
I'm summoning it from somewhere else. It'll go back there.
Alive or dead is the question.
You know what? Might never be considered. Depends what I summon.
Is this part of the fact that you're not here all the time? I'm not talking about but physically.
Yeah. Just have a looser relationship with this concept of life and death than you lot.
That's a
That's how I
conversation.
feel about that.
That's definitely a
I
conversation.
go and deactivate the other one before it recharges.
Make your roll.
20. Dirty 20.
You just managed to pick this thing. You think if you went any worse than that with a live one, you would not be able to do it in time.
Okay. Good to know. Okay, I'm going to go and try one. I'm going to try and get in there and try and deactivate it.
Okay.
So,
Just to say
I assume that's one there.
That is one just there, yes. You are wounded. Moz is actually wounded. Oh no, Moz didn't go down. Yeah, that's fine.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just me.
You suddenly pelt up to this next one while the rest of them are kind of chatting about it. Make yourself a thievery check.
21.
You rush in, spot the little crystal at just the last second, and ping it as it's starting to generate energy. This plume of smoke and lights and things like that just flitter out the top, but no harm.
Does that mean I now have 3 crystals?
They're not crystals that could be sold or anything else like that. They're more like little glass prisms rather than proper.
Do they look pretty? She doesn't care about the money, but do they look pretty?
For focusing death ray pieces of glass, sure, they look real pretty.
Ren would love them. That's exactly why she's getting them. So she's collecting them.
You're a little bit more arcane than I am. Do you reckon a mirror be any useful for like stopping Mephi getting whanged in the face by another beam of doom?
I don't know. Mirror might get melted. Do any of us have a mirror?
And Moz just opens up his bandolier and pulls out a small signal whistle. No, that's not it. Pulls out a small mirror.
Okay.
So, handed a mirror in hand. What are you going?
Circumstance bonus?
What are you going to do? We'll see. I'm making my decision right now.
I'm handing it off to Nevigo. Don't know if it's going to be useful. You know, if you feel a little bit panicky, if you think it's going to go off before you get there, maybe this will stop you getting whammed in the face again.
I think I'm going to move
Okay.
a little bit further. So if he does get whammed in the face. Hey, look, I was good. I said if, not when.
Okay, so I'm carrying the mirror.
Mhm.
I'm gonna dart in because I'm assuming that's another one.
That is, yeah.
I'm gonna dart in and I'm gonna try it again. Oh shit, there's another one. Dead on 20.
You literally, at the very last second, you see it glowing bright, and you just flick it with your with your finger, dropping the mirror because it's completely useless and was actually taking up a hand. Flicking the thing at the very last second, and while you don't get rid of the glass, it just fires it straight up, and there's now a burn hole in the top, which then allows you to very carefully take it away and sort of get rid of it.
If you don't think it's a good idea,
Mirror.
it's a signal
Did
mirror.
the mirror
so-
break?
Did the mirror break?
Is it a proper mirror or is it just highly polished metal?
It's probably just highly polished metal at this point in time, rather than glass.
If you don't want it, I'll take that. I mean, I was like a grappling hook and
Don't
some
give
rope.
the
and we could, like, try
DMs
and whack it in.
ideas.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
going
I've
for
got one more to go.
long episode here, guys. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Muppet D&D. This is. We need to do that. We need to do that back again.
Have a hero point. Because that was an 18 in total. Okay, 22. That was
Yeah.
better.
You get up, you quickly grab hold of the very last one, plucking out the crystal from the very tips. As you are going around and as people are looking at this, so the first one was a city, Absalon on fire, Absalon consumed by a tsunami. The next one up, the first one that Nephi deactivated, is the buildings look to be rocking, almost shaking, like some sort of earthquake is causing them to collapse. The one at the very top of the chamber is Absalom, but you can see within Absalom itself, within the diorama of Absalom itself, are small undead figures, like little tiny skeletons and things like that have been added in. So it's Absalom destroyed by a swarm of undead, and then
I pick up a few of them.
and then the final one is Absalom, which with what appears to be some sort of enormous kaiju type monster ravaging it from the sea.
Azura.
These are all real Absalom, not Shadow Absalom.
These are all real Absalom rather than Shadow Absalom, yes.
Okay.
I mean, it would be difficult to really tell. It's a diorama of a city, but you've got enough knowledge of what it looks like that you know it's not Shadow Absalom.
Okay.
There is
Big
a
head character.
set of double doors at the end of this corridor.
Am I aware from history, life, growing up in the Shadow version, if any of these things have happened?
None of them have happened.
Okay, thank you.
That's Absalom has stood against many a thing.
Mhm.
None of these.
Okay.
I mean, potentially a fire, but not one that destroyed the entire city, you know.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I don't want to be first through this next door.
Okay. No one's feeling confident about this thing. It's a double door. Is it like this is there's plinths of straight Absalom, you know, that Apocalypse Absalom, effectively, and different domains. This feels like it's leading up to something. Is it just yet again another set of simple wooden doors or simple double doors?
No,
Or is this?
This looks a little bit. I wouldn't say that they're ostentatious doors, but they certainly are functional. They look like they've been put in here to make a statement of this room.
Might as well look around the group and go and get an assessment of is everyone good? Everyone good? Yeah. And,
Nephew,
Yeah,
any
sure.
potions to drink?
Oh, I might do.
yeah, actually.
Yes, in fact, I do.
Good
That's
idea.
a good idea. Glad you reminded me of that.
Yeah. I'll drink my lesser one as well. Actually, in fact, mine or a lesser? Which one's better? Which one's worse? Take the worst one.
Minor, I think.
Yeah, mine 1d8. That's the one that looks
I-
like two butts.
We'll do mine as well.
Very quickly run through these heals, and then.
Ooh, 8.
1 point.
Oh,
Apparently, my dice were better for
Oh.
me the other week.
Oh, we're rolling it that way. I was just going to
Oh,
roll.
No, I didn't mean to. I
Every time
No.
I adjust my character sheet, it rolls a random thing.
if you ever select use or anything like that, it will literally roll it automatically.
No, I typed the numbers in on my character sheet that I'd rolled on the dice, and it still
Okay.
did that.
I'm wondering if that's an update to the Pathfinder 2 thing, just to make that sort of thing happen automatically. In either case, people have done their
Yep.
healings, done their potions.
might as well give it a gentle shove rather than a full shoulder charge.
By all means, open the door.
Moz has
Open
approached it
that.
first.
Trap door.
Oh, close the door again.
Large. Every time. This large, low-ceiling room has a cross-shaped table at its centre. 10 chairs stand around the table. The walls, floors, and ceilings of this chamber are completely covered with thick layers of webbing. And sort of sat on the table is a very upsetting-looking creature. Long, spindly legs and arms, a face which kind of hunches down over its body, a portly pot-belly type look to it, but the face is entirely arachnid. Multiple eyes, a pair of mandibles sit chittering below its mouth. For those of you that might not like spider-type creatures, don't worry, this one isn't
A
too
warning.
obviously, but a little bit of a warning. There's this thing,
Okay.
and it kind of, as you open the door, it rises itself up, lifts itself up onto its legs, and goes, "Bow down before the King of Ghost City and present your offerings." And that's where we're going to leave it, so that this lot can go and get a drink and not feel horrible about all of this. We'll see you next time, guys. Have fun. Bye bye for now.